Hello everyone, how are you? I'm William Yannicona from Buffalo, New York, my hiding plain sight kind of town. I'm an investigator, lucky litigator, documentarian, National Lawyers Guild member, budding author, and film producer. If you are as interested as I am in unraveling the secrets of the CIA's behavioral science drug project MKUltra that preceded the age of Aquarius, you'll definitely be interested in reading this book, The Search for the Manchurian Candidate. Authored by John Marks, a former State Department official, using CIA documents obtained via his 1977 FOIA request, I'm sure you'll find it both informative and fascinating. One of my favorite chapters is Chapter 7, Mushrooms to Counterculture. Here's some very interesting facts from Marx's book, Chapter 1, World War II, where you can find the link to an online version below. In 1941, Wall Street lawyer William Wild Bill Donovan from Buffalo's New York's Old First Ward laid the foundation for OSS with New York City lawyer Alan W. Dulles, based on Britain's MI6. Lobbying by British agents led President Roosevelt to create OSS in 1942 under Donovan. In 1942, Donovan initiated research to investigate various drugs in the effort to find a truth drug for interrogations. Experiments with mescaline were being conducted around that same time on Dachau prisoners run by Dr. Kurt Plotner. A truth drug committee was set up under Dr. Winfred Overholzer, head of St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Washington, D.C., to test drugs including mescaline and marijuana in cooperation with the Manhattan Project. On May 27, 1943, OSS officer George White, formerly from the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, conducted the first field test by giving New York City mobster August Del Gracchio marijuana-laced cigarettes. White learned about the narcotics trade and wanted La Cosa Nostra help to keep access agents out of the New York City waterfront, to prevent strikes, and to prepare for the invasion of Sicily. White borrowed dossiers from the FBI to test marijuana on suspected communist soldiers at U.S. military camps. In 1946, Navy intelligence sealed a deal in which mob leaders promised to cooperate, and New York Governor Thomas E. Dewey ordered Del Graccio's boss of bosses, Charlie Lucky Luciano, freed from jail. In 1945, Operation Paperclip, an OSS program, brought more than 1,500 German scientists to the U.S. Two Nazi war criminals, Walter Dornberger and Kraft Arak, confidant of Lyndon LaRouche, lived in Buffalo, New York. Elizabeth Rauscher, PhD, physicist, says in the 1970s she worked with Edward Teller, father of the hydrogen bomb Manhattan Project. In an interview on December 3, 2011, Rauscher said, after World War II, the U.S., under Operation Paperclip, took most of the German scientists from the V2 and Redstone arsenal to the U.S., and that the Russians took the German scientists who were doing experiments on Jewish prisoners in concentration camps on the electromagnetic effects on biological systems. Rauscher's source link below. Truman disbanded OSS in 1945. Gregory Bateson, an English anthropologist in OSS during World War II, designed black propaganda broadcasts. Bateson used his theory of schismogenesis to facilitate discord among enemy fighters. Donovan convinced Truman to expand intelligence based on Bateson's argument that, quote, applied anthropology, unquote, is required to win the Cold War. In 1947, the CIA was created In 1953, Dulles, the first civilian DCI, initiated a mind control project for the, quote, covert use of biological and chemical materials, unquote, managed by Sidney Gottlieb, proposed by Richard Helms, codenamed MK Ultra. The CIA worked with other branches of the government, including the Advanced Research Projects Agency, ARPA, of the Department of Defense, and the Office of Naval Intelligence. The Nuremberg Code has remained official American policy ever since 1946, but even before the verdicts were in, special U.S. investigative teams were sifting through the experimental records at Dachau for information of military value. Military authorities sent the records, including a description of the mescaline and hypnosis experiments, back to the U.S. None of the German mind control research was ever made public. If you found these facts interesting, I'm sure you'll find my research on MK Ultra intriguing. Please join the Yanacona Family Patreon campaign, linked below, to follow the production of our movie, The Awesome Awakening, based on my astonishing thesis, The Secret Agenda of MK Ultra, and the finalization of our legal projects for truth and reconciliation. Thank you very much. See you all again soon.